Well, hello and welcome back to like the 70s porn music Sunday, Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger and Kitten's here. That's why you guys getting the 70s porn music. Yeah, I mean that is very retro and pretty nice. If you like that kind of stuff, you know, imagine you're in like Hawaii or something. Actually, that's not the kind of music you listen to in Hawaii, isn't it?
No.
Uh, yeah, no. This is more like I don't know what, California, maybe, Florida. Mm, I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty nice, whatever it is. Elevator music. um, so we are going to do some soul searching, and today's date is July 30, 2023. Kitten has been with us for just under 2 weeks. Um, Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to deal with leeches. Yeah, put salt on them or pee on them. Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I mean that's how you deal with that kind of leeches, but that's not the kind of leeches I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good kind. I mean, yeah, hard to imagine there's even good kind, but there's quite a few different levels of leeching and parasitic relationship, and sometimes it is okay to just tell them to F off or say go away. I don't want to, or just say no. Some A lot of times it is fine, but sometimes it's a little bit more delicate. Sometimes the situation is a little bit more delicate because sometimes the person who's leeching off of you or who's taking up a lot of your time might be someone that you actually like. Right? Like this might be a good friend. But this good friend have a kind of a loose idea of boundary. What I'm talking about is like, for example, if you have a friend who always just want to borrow money and then don't want to pay you back, then it's easy to say no. That's fine. Like you don't need a friend like that anyway. But what if you have a friend you've known for 20 years and his or her bad habit is every time around dinner time, just as you're ready to sit down and eat, they drop by. And then you end up having to share your food with them. On the one hand, you want to tell them to go away. On the other hand, yeah, you've been friends for 20 years, or however many years, right? And you feel a bit, at least in the Asian culture, we feel rude when we don't feed our guests. Now, I have a lot, and I'm not trying to be racist, but I have a lot of white friends that will say, "Oh, heck, if you drop by while I'm eating dinner, then I'll just tell you to sit on the sofa and watch me eat." Yeah, some people have no problem doing that, but personally speaking, I can't. If you drop by while I'm eating, I either going to just put my food aside and then talk to you, and then I am so hungry and getting irritated and wish you would go away, and then finally you go away. I can now eat my cold and stale food, or I feel obligated to share something with you. Like, sit down, grab a chair. I happen to make an extra steak. Hold on, let me make that extra steak right now. you know, Something like that. That's more like how I would deal with something like that. Um, so when friends, family members have this kind of leeching behavior that they just kind of taking advantage of you in little ways, and you don't feel comfortable saying no to them. You don't know how to talk to them about it without breaking the relationship. Then today I am going to show you three not so nice little trick in dealing with leeches. Now, after you guys hearing what I tell you to do, you can do, you may think, well, Johnny Tiger is not very nice, and these ways are not very honest, that kind of trickery. But let's be honest, your friends leeching off of you not very nice to begin with. So all you are doing is really amount to damage control. Right? You're trying to end the leech behavior without damaging the friendship. That's all. Right? That's why we have these little roundabout uh, diplomatic way of dealing with this kind of behavior. Now, if you don't care about the relationship, if you don't care about the friendship, go ahead and just say no. Tell them to tell them to get lost, or kick them out of your house. It's fine, you know. But just in case that you feel a bit awkward, you don't know how to deal with it because you don't want to offend them or mess up the friendship, then maybe what we are going to talk about today is going to be useful to you guys. The three little tricks in dealing with leeches in a diplomatic fashion are very simple. Number one, create excuses. This is one of the most obvious one, and I will tell you, I personally use this one a lot. Uh, Let me give you an example. Let's say I have a friend who's going through a divorce, and he or she call me every day after work and want to talk for 2 hours. And on one hand, I feel like it's my obligation to support them on the phone. But on the other hand, I can only take so much. And I have my own life to think about. I have dinner to think about, other things, martial art and talking to kitten on the phone, making videos and working out. I have other stuff to think about. But I don't want to come across as that bad friend who tell my friend, hey, your divorce is your problem. I don't have time for you. No, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I am getting overwhelmed getting that phone call every day. I'm dreading coming home. Every time the phone ring, my blood pressure shoot up. I don't want to answer that freaking phone because I know when I pick up that phone, it's going to be that crying, sobbing, angry, recriminating for 2 hours, right? And no, no, no joking. This happened to me before. And I'm sure most of us, I'm sure most of us have that friend or multiple friends that did that. Kitten probably had that, right? Like friends go through
Yeah.
divorce, call you every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you feel so bad, but you just don't want to answer the phone anymore. Um, so in this case, create excuse, right? This is a easiest way to deal with something like that. Because what you got to understand with this kind of leeching behavior is they'll leech onto whoever's available. If it's not you, it will be someone else. So all you need to do is make yourself not available for a little bit, and they'll leech onto someone else. So they'll leave you alone, right? And that won't even damage the friendship if you have a good excuse for it. So for example, you can say something like, "Hey, uh, I don't know what happened, but I really want to help you, but no, I didn't get your phone call because I think my internet's messing up." Or you can say, "Hey, I'm so sorry I had to be out of town because of work for a few days. So I'll get in touch with you when I come back." Uh, but if you have something really, really important, leave me a message, and if I can get back to you, I'll get back to you. You can make that kind of little excuses to not answer the phone without overtly damaging the friendship or relationship. You can make them feel that you want to be there, but you can't because of something uh, out of your control. This way, they won't begrudge you later on. They won't tell everybody you're a lousy friend. Uh, and at the same time, because they have the need to talk to somebody, they'll call someone else. They'll call someone else. So after a week or two of making excuses, they won't be a problem anymore. Okay, so this is one of the easiest way of dealing with this kind of friendly leech is to create excuses, to make little snags, little interruptions in your uh, routine to make them uh, realize that, oh, maybe I can't count on this person. Maybe I can't, quote unquote, leech off of this person regularly because he or she has got other things going on. Uh, I need to find another victim. This way they'll go away. Okay, but technique, this technique, creating excuses, usually only work on leeches that have a conscience. This only work on leeches that understand the unspoken rule. What is the unspoken rule? When I start to check the time, when I keep checking the time, then you automatically understand that it is time to go. It is time to end the party. When I start to cross my leg, you know I need to use the washroom. Those are the unspoken rules. So if your leech friend, or if your leech is empathetic, if your leech is understanding and can read between the line, then this will work on them really, really well. They'll get the hint. They'll understand that you do have other things that are occupying you. You can't be there for them to leech off of all the time, and they'll go away. But what if you run into the kind of leech that is a little bit tougher, like the kind of leech that miss all the cues, the kind of leech that make you grit your teeth and you just want to say, will we just go away? Yeah, there are some people that are like that. They won't get a hint if you just do that. You tell them, oh, I'm sorry I can't talk to you. I have work that I have to be out of town and I'll be back and I'll call you. And what they're going to do is, oh, when will you be back? Give me a date and I'll call you. Or which hotel are you staying at? I'll call you at your hotel. Now do something like that. Okay, so when you run into people like that, then it's time to go to tactic number two, which is create work. Again, I I'm sorry to say that I personally use this very often. This is actually a very good tactic of mine. That when someone is leeching off of you, why do they leech off of you? Because you're a free ride. Okay, usually it's because you are the simplest, easiest, quickest solution. So understanding that, all you have to do to end that leeching behavior is to make it not so quick, not so simple, not so easy. For example, uh, let's say you have a friend who drop by every day at dinner time. You sit down to eat your dinner at 6. That friend show up at 5:55. Uh, and now you feel obligated to feed them. And you don't you've been trying to create excuses, but they just won't go away. Well, then we go to tactic two, create work. Okay, so George show up at my door ready for dinner every day and won't go away. So next time, when I know George is going to come up, and I'm going to call George ahead of time. Hey, you are showing up for dinner today, right? Yeah. I know you show up for dinner every day, so that's fine. No, you are showing up for dinner today, so I need you. We happen to be out of soy sauce, right? So I need you to go to Walmart and get this soy sauce for me. And then this is when you insert a brand of soy sauce that's super hard to find, right? Find a brand that you know Walmart doesn't have, right? If you send them to Walmart, tell them it's Western Family. For you guys, Western Family is only and you can only find that in Save on Food. If you send them to Save on Food, tell them you want great value. That only happen in Walmart. Okay, so You send them on a wild goose chase, and then when they finally show up, they'll be really angry, right? You tell me to go to Walmart. There's a Western family that's not a Walmart brand. Oh, God damn it! I'm so sorry. See, I'm so busy making dinner for you, for myself, I'm so sorry. Sorry, sorry. No, and then next day, no, they come for dinner. They get in the door. You say, "Hey, I'm so busy cooking for us. Do you mind? I got laundry in the laundry room. Can you go put them in the dryer?" And oh yeah, by the way, there's some things that shouldn't go in the dryer, so you need to separate them. You see what I mean? Basically, all you do is make work for them, make them work for that meal, make them work for leeching off of you. Uh, and trust me, you do this, you keep this up, by about a week, they'll go away. They won't come anymore because most people only leech because they hate working. They hate having to do it themselves. So if they try to leech off of you and they have to put in the work, they don't want to do it. They'll go somewhere else. You can even, like still using the dinner scenario. You can still use the dinner scenario. You can say, hey, I, you know, I know you're going to drop by for dinner, but our microwave not working. Can you bring yours? Yeah. You know, if you get to the point where they have to bring their own microwave, they're going to think, oh, crap, why don't I just do it myself at home? Why do I have to drag my microwave all the way to your place? Yeah. So create work is a very, very good way to get the leech to go away without breaking up the friendship. It's creating enough of work for them to no longer feel that leeching off of you is worth it. Third, but not least, is create shame. This one is really not nice, okay? I'm going to put it out there right now because this one is very conniving. But let's say you try to create excuses, it doesn't work. You try to create work, it doesn't work. Then it is time to create shame. And it is not you shaming them yourself. I mean that if you start shaming them yourself, that will break up the friendship. But you need to enlist somebody. You need to enlist a third party, a third person to help you. You need to put on a little act, in another word. Uh, Let me give you guys a real life example. Right? Uh, when I was in college, I had a friend, we'll just say George. Right? So George, uh, had this buddy of his called David, and David would want to hitch a ride with George all the time to school, after school, get George to take him to grocery shopping and stuff like that. Once or twice it was okay, but after a while it became an everyday thing. That David would stand outside George's apartment waiting for him to come out in the morning, so George can take him to school. And after school, he wait outside the classroom for George to come out, and so George can take him home. And even when George said, "I can't take you home. I have to go to basketball practice," David would say, "Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll go with you. I'll sit on the side, and then you take me home afterward." Like it got so ridiculous, and George asked me how to deal with this because he was at wit's end. He didn't know how to deal with that. So I said, uh, okay, tell you what, I'll help you out. Next time when David asks you to pick him up, take him home after school, tell him that you need to stop by at my college to pick me up. You tell him you have to pick up and your other good friend Johnny, and then just leave it with me after that. So next day, George after school, and true to his usual form, David was waiting right there outside school. And hey, can you take me home? Give me a ride. I don't want to take the bus. And George said, oh well, that's okay, fine. I can take you home, but I need to stop by and pick up my buddy Johnny at the other college. David said, oh, that's fine, that's fine. I don't mind meeting your friend. So They did. They swung by my college and picked me up, and I got in the car and I immediately gave George $50. I said, "Hey, thanks so much, picking me up. I know that I'm using your time and I'm uh, taking you out of your way. So I don't want you to do that for me for free. Nobody should do that. Have be expected to do that for people for free. Even though you and I we've been friends for 20 years, I still need to pay you." And the whole time when we were going back to my place, his friend David was just like totally quiet because what I said had an effect on him because he was thinking, well, crap, Johnny and George, they know each other for 20 years, but Johnny still pay him to give him a ride. So how come I am just bombing rides off of him every day, not giving him anything? When we got to my place, I pulled another $200 out of my wallet and gave it to George. I said, hey, uh, this next week, I need to get to school on time. So I need you to pick me up every morning. And definitely don't want you to do this for free, right? No matter how good friends we are, I want you to have be paid. I want you to be paid, compensated for what you are doing. So, yeah, that's fair, right? Now, if I just use your car, if I just get you to pick me up, then and I don't pay you, then what kind of friend am I? I'm just a leech, right? I'm just a goddamn leech. Why am I saying all these things? I'm saying this for David's benefit, right? Because I'm going through me, George, because George couldn't say these things himself without damaging the friendship. But me and David, we're not friends. I have no problem saying things like that. I have no problem insinuating things like that. So all these we pre-arranged. The $50 I gave him, the $200 I gave him, these were all pre-arranged. Obviously, he gave those money back to me later. But through this little drama that we staged, uh, within a week, David started driving himself to school. Yeah, he had his own car all along. He just didn't want to drive himself. So, like I said, it's not nice. It is kind of a conniving, roundabout way to get rid of a leech. But when the leech is not going away, even when you try to do it a nice way, then sometimes you do have to get pretty creative, unless you want to just go ahead and end the friendship. So the three simple way, diplomatic way of getting rid of leeches: create excuses, create work, and create shame. Uh, Hopefully, this will let you guys deal with leeches more effectively in the future. Thank you for checking out today's episode and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.